I am lost. And yet, I can feel his presence. So close, so close. I can see him in my mind's eye. Kenobi. Kenobi!
Hello there, everyone, and sorry it's been a bit, but I was kind of busy, and now I'm going to be trying to make videos again. So, Kenobi. Been watching it, been enjoying some of it, been disappointed by most of it. So, I want to talk about some problems on why I believe Kenobi to be pretty mid. First off, I'm going to go over what I do like, but before going any farther, I'm going to say major spoilers for episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Kenobi, because that's all that's out right now, with only 2 episodes left to go. So, Kenobi. Oh boy. What I like about it is, I know some people weren't a huge fan of the opening episode. I actually, personally, really liked it. It showed what he's been up to for these past 10 years. Kind of what you expect, I mean, really. Now, I will say, something I was thinking a lot about was the message he gives at the end of Revenge of the Sith. That message he gives at the end, basically, it's like him saying, you know, keep practicing the Jedi way. Don't let it die out. He kind of gave up on it. So that's a little weird, but besides that, I enjoyed the first episode. Chase scene was a little dumb, but hey, I was like, okay, you know. Grand Inquisitor as well, his head, that's a different situation, everyone knows about that one. Reva, I actually liked her in the first episode. She wasn't as bad. The Kenobi fascination was weird. But, I mean, she felt like an Inquisitor, like, kinda. Like, how they write the Inquisitors. I didn't mind her. Now, when it comes to episode 2, that's where my major problems start. So, episode 2, really liked, but also didn't because it broke canon in Star Wars. As soon as you see, you know, Grand Inquisitor just dead. And, you know, there's a lot of speculation. Oh, he'll come back. Oh, he's alive. 2 episodes left to go, and they're basically saying, oh, he's already dead. Well, that's not supposed to happen until Rebels. And he gives one of the coolest lines before his death, too, where he's like, I assure you, Jedi, there's much worse things than death. Epic line, epic death. And instead they're like, oh, we'll have Reva. Also weird that Reva knows Vader's Anakin, because not everyone knows that. And that's just kind of weird, because, like, you know, I actually really do enjoy Leia. She reminds me of when I would picture a young Leia. I can see her becoming the Leia you see in, you know, the original trilogy, which I really enjoy, that fact. But, at the same time, I'm very tired of the trope of we have to have a kid in, you know, every Star Wars thing. I kind of get it, but at the same time, when you do it for the shows, it's like, okay. But with the live action, especially Kenobi, I wanted the show to be way more focused on Kenobi. And also Vader, because I'll get into the Vader thing, but, like, you know, Mandalorian, okay, you have a Mandalorian like me, you know, just chilling, doing his own thing, going by the code, you know, and then being like, oh, hey, yeah, I found this kid, I'm gonna take him in, I'm gonna figure out how to be a father. Cool. Good show. Great show. One of the best. Then Bad Batch comes around and does the same thing, but instead, you know, you got Hunter and all of them taking Omega, and Hunter has to figure out how to be a father. Okay. I mean, I like Bad Batch, you know. And now you have Kenobi, and it's like, oh boy. Yeah, it's a lot of that, you know. It's like they found something, and they're like, we're gonna just stick with it. We're just gonna keep going with it. That's why they had to bring, you know, Grogu back into the Mandalorian. When I think it was gonna be really good. You know, like, I knew they'd have to bring him back at some point, but like bring him back that fast was weird. But that's a separate topic. The Leia thing, I feel like it should have just been a 2-episode type of deal, maybe 3. But then they're just dragging out through the whole season, it feels like, and that's kind of annoying. Which I know some people are like, oh, well, that breaks canon because Leia never met him. I don't necessarily think it breaks canon, because just because she says he fought alongside my father in the Clone War, you know, it doesn't mean she necessarily has to, you know. Now, what does bother me is the fact that she's been kidnapped. You know, Bail Organa sending Obi-Wan after him. And basically, like, being like, oh, yeah, the Empire now knows Obi-Wan's alive, and he's trying to save Bail Organa's daughter. Why not just, you know, mark off the entire family of the Organas as, you know, traitors to the Empire? Why not do that? Aren't they supposed to be like, oh, they weren't found out until A New Hope? So that's weird to me. Because if you already know Obi-Wan's willing to risk his life to save a family member of that family, like, you know, it's weird. It's weird. But yeah. Other stuff I like is, I do really like the alien designs I've been seeing. A lot of those are really good, but, yeah. Episode 3, I have very mixed feelings. I loved Vader in it. But I also didn't. Because, like, I don't know. They're giving us a soft version of Vader, it feels. Just like they did with Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. It's more so a bit more like Vader than Boba Fett was in, you know, Book of Boba Fett. But at the same time, it's like, oh boy. We can't. So, his introduction where he goes in and kills everyone. Awesome. He's killing the citizens and whatnot. This fight with Obi-Wan just felt very tame. Also felt very fan-filmy. They had to record it at night so you wouldn't notice, like, flaws in the CGI or stuff. I feel it's like what they were trying to do. Kind of like why a lot of old movies in, like, 2000s and stuff would have, like, stuff at night. Like, think about the Transformers. A lot of the shots, at least from what I remember, in the original Transformers, at night, because it concealed the bad CGI. And that's just what it felt like. And that's what a lot of fan films do, which I don't have a problem with, but, you know, this is an official Star Wars product. Yeah. And then, you know, the weird thing with how Reva get in front of Leia in the tunnels. Strange, it doesn't make sense, but oh well, you know, it's like, okay, we can just accept it. It's movie magic, you know. But what really bothers me is the scene where Vader fights Obi-Wan, sets him on fire. That was cool. But then he gets saved, and for whatever reason, Vader just decides, even though he put out the fire just a second before to retrieve Obi-Wan, fire lights up again, and he decides, I'm not going to risk it. That is not Vader. Look at Vader in the comics. That man walks through lava in the comics. He gets, like, beat up like nuts in the comics. He does not care about harm at all in the comics. He'll stab his own self to, like, get the job done. And this man who has that much hatred towards Obi-Wan isn't gonna just walk through the fire to go get Obi-Wan and kill him? Doesn't add up. Now, I know there's probably gonna be another fight, but if there isn't, you're saying this is the rematch of the century we've been waiting for? It's so dumb. There's no sense in that. Because again, only 2 more episodes left. It's been iffy. I mean, I'll get into it in a sec. Episode 4 comes around. Now I thought this is where it's going to pick up. Leia's been kidnapped. Well, the Inquisitorium's back, which you saw in episode 1, I believe it was. And, like, they don't really explain how it's back. It was kind of destroyed and fallen apart. But also, I think the security would be better. But they're able to just sneak in without any problems. With an Imperial officer who is clearly, you think they would have an update very fast that she's a traitor. But no. And then also her excuse to get into the room where she goes, says the thing about, like, the Grand Inquisitor, should I let the Grand Inquisitor know about you not letting me in or whatever? He's dead. They've stated that in the show. He's dead. They've stated he's flat out dead. Then Reva, sorry about my cat, Reva and the 5th brother are both fighting to try getting the spot of the Grand Inquisitor. He's dead. You don't think the guy running the Inquisitorium, well, second guy, I guess, because Vader's first, wouldn't be like, wait a minute, he's dead, how would he know? It doesn't add up. And then you have just, oh man, the whole episode just felt weird to me. It was like a jailbreak episode, which is okay, but also it kept on feeling like they were going to give Reva a moment to kind of explain herself, but they never did. And then it's just weird. But, like, what really bothers me, which is it's a nitpick thing, but they get away. And again, with my idea of they're trying to soften Vader or something. Vader was force choking Reva, and then just lets her go because she says she had a tracker on him. Bro, that is not Vader. Look at Vader in Empire, for example. You know, you failed me for the last time, immediately just kills the guy. And then puts another guy in his place to finish the job. If that's true that she had a tracker, he would have just killed her and had someone else follow the tracker. He probably himself would have followed the tracker because it's Obi-Wan. But no. No. You can't have that. Another thing that bothered me in the episode, smaller stuff in that episode that bothered me were one bullet, a blaster, breaking the glass when there were multiple that hit different parts of the glass, yet somehow one broke it. That was weird to me. And then I forgot the exact technical name, but the snow speeders. Maybe I'm not educated on my Star Wars ships, yet I'll have you know I play Star Wars X-Wing miniatures, and I collect a lot of models of Star Wars ships. Everyone that knows me knows that. Snow speeders can only fit 2 people. 2. So you have 2 snowspeeders come in to rescue Obi-Wan, the ex-Imperial chick, I forgot her name, and Leia. One of them lands to pick them up. One of them. And so then there's 4 people in it. That's either a really cramped ride, or somehow a bigger snowspeeder, which we've never seen before. At least in my knowledge. And the way the doors opened weren't even accurate to how you see them in Empire. Empire, they go up. The full thing goes up. In this one, it was like a weird thing where it was like a side door. It's strange to me. It's very, very strange to me. The decision on that. I mean, like, it could have been like, oh, we have some U-Wings or whatever, because, you know, the Resistance, or Rebellion uses that, but, like, you know, no. We're going to use a snowspeeder that can only fit 2 people. That was weird. Very weird to me. Bringing up that fact, if Reva wanted them to escape, why was she the one that called them out to everyone and tried to blow them up? Did she just not think the plan was going to work already or something? It's weird. It's weird. Very weird. But, yeah. The writing in this show is just... It's a mid-show. This is not what a Kenobi show should be, right? You have Ewan McGregor reprising the role of Obi-Wan, Hayden Christensen reprising the role of Vader / Anakin. Yet, this is not at all what I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans wanted from a Kenobi show. You know, I wanted to see, personally, Vader on a hunt for Kenobi. I didn't want them to actually meet up and duel because, you know, mine and New Hope, it implies they hadn't met since Mustafar. In that last fight, clearly, there is no way Vader would have been upset about how that last fight went down. Because if he was, he would have just walked through the fire again and gone and gotten him. But no, he wanted him to get away for whatever reason. It was weird. But, yeah, that's weird. So I wanted to see Vader going around, killing Jedi, trying to find Kenobi, but never being able to. Because I feel like he wouldn't even send Inquisitors to try getting Kenobi. Because he has that much of hatred towards Kenobi. But it's weird. It's very weird. And then I wanted to see Obi-Wan. I wanted him to go off-world. I thought it would be cool. Him saving Leia, not a bad idea, but like at the same time, again, it's kind of weird. Doesn't seem to add up in my mind, at least, on how the Empire would react to seeing that Obi-Wan just saved Bail Organa's daughter. And then, you know, Bail Organa supplies the rebellion, or as they show in Rebels, sets up to make it appear that the rebellion attacks and steals his ships. But it's really him giving it to them. And they wouldn't look into that more, you know? It's weird. Yeah, the show is very mid. It's not like a legendary show like I feel like an Obi-Wan show should be. It's just mid. There's nothing like significant, really. It feels like there's nothing significant happening in the show. Which is really sad. I mean, again, there's 2 more episodes, but then it's like 2 more episodes, and there's not a single episode that I can go, that's a great episode. I look at the Mandalorian, for example. First season, pretty much the entire first season, besides episode 4, I've watched at least 10 to 12 times. Because it's good. Second season, there's a few episodes I don't like, but overall, again, most of those 10 to 12 times I've rewatched. Clone Wars, I don't know how many times I've rewatched that. Rebels, I've watched at least 4 times. This is weird. It's weird to me when you can make a cartoon show much better than a live action show. Yet they've shown they can do live action shows really well. Because when Mandalorian, when that hits, it's perfect Star Wars. But then, you know, you're like, oh, Boba Fett, our next Star Wars live action show. No. That show's terrible. Garbage. I don't care what anyone says. There's 2 good episodes, and neither of them have to make character, like, even say a word in it. Sure, he shows up in one of them, but he does nothing. He contributes nothing to his own series. And that's a bit how Kenobi is. Kenobi's not... doesn't feel like he's contributing to his own story. It's a Kenobi show. And yet, I feel like you've gotten more of like all these other characters and stuff, which I'm fine if the characters feel like, oh, it's helping further Kenobi, which I guess you could be like, oh, Leia is, but then at the same time, he forgets Leia in the OT when he's like, that boy's our only hope, and then Yoda has to remind him of Leia. So he clearly forgot Leia, which is weird. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because again, this was a show you could have done so much with. I mean, you know, if you're gonna retcon anything, why retcon Rebels, which you're kind of throwing your whole live action shows off of? Because, you know, Rebels is what the Ahsoka show is going to stem from. Ahsoka is in Mandalorian because of Rebels. She's on the hunt for Ezra, which is because of Rebels. It's just dumb. It makes it feel like it's a different universe if you're going to retcon that. You know? Doesn't make sense. And then also makes you not want to like watch the other stuff or play the games if there's not really any continuity. Because like, okay, I'm a fan of Transformers, for example. I know not every Transformers thing is going to be connected. Star Wars, on the other hand, the comics, books, games, and stuff, all supposed to be connected. And that's why they say they retcon to be, you know, old EU. They were like, oh, it doesn't work well together. We're retconning it, and we're going to make sure the books and games tie into the movies. Cool. But then clearly, they actually don't care at all about that. I mean, the retconning stuff started with, you know, kind of end of the Clone Wars, but at the same time, that one's a bit more lenient, because it's like, okay, it kind of works a bit more than the Ahsoka novel, where they retconned the whole Battle of Mandalore. But then, you get to Bad Batch, and they retcon, you know, the Kanan comics, which I really enjoyed, but they retcon those. You could be like, oh, it kind of fits. It's sort of the same. Okay. But then you're just going to keep retconning all your own stuff. And I guess you could be like, okay, it's fine with the, you know, with the comics and novels. But now you're retconning your own shows. It's just dumb. Like, whoever is the decision maker on it, it's just dumb. Straight up. It's probably the same person who decided, oh, Boba Fett needs to be a pacifist. You know? It doesn't make sense. Not just a pacifist, but a pacifist after, you know, spending weeks with, you know, Tusken Raiders, who are known for being violent and kept him as a slave. Yeah. So that's my video on why I believe Kenobi to be mid. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and comment. Help a lot. I want to do more stuff like this. You know, I'm gonna try getting back in the swing of posting a video once a week, maybe twice a week. It just kind of depends, you know. But yeah, so I want to do that. Feel free to go check out my Instagram. I do photography, and trying to set a full schedule for that for each week, like what I'm going to be doing. But yeah. So this is MC Scarab Trooper, and I will be signing out. See you next time.